Hey man, I'm back for another video, and I just want to speak upon false prophets and how a lot of people, a lot of people have a lot of different ideas, or they have a lot of other things they're thinking about, and it really aggravates. It don't aggravate me, but it's an issue, It's something that has to stop happening, but it keeps happening. And you wonder why, you ask yourself, why do this keep happening? Like, why these types of people coming, into especially, like, why are they even around? Why do they even exist? You know? And people like that, like, especially when it comes to the spiritual community, it's a lot of people out here that are literally, how can I say this? They're putting on a mask and they're giving you something on the camera that they don't really do in real time, right? And it aggravates me because it's like, because we're living in a world where that you have two sides. You have two sides. You have the other side, which is negative, which is demonic, which is disrespectful, a negative, and you have the other side, which is positive. That means having a righteous heart. If you don't have a righteous heart, if you don't have a really genuine, pure heart, what's the point? You see me? What's the point of telling people, "Oh, I want to help you," or "I want to get you right," if you don't have a pure heart? So basically, when this is my issue, right? It's people that come on these internet and come on these platforms and they'll speak all day on this platform, but their actions are totally different, right? And I'm asking I get, it's kind of weird to me because I'm asking myself, why is these type of people exist? I'm asking myself, why do these things keep happening? Why is people coming in different communities messing up things, especially at a fast right, the spiritual community, right? It's a lot of people that's just riding a wave. They're riding a wave. They're trying to, it's like they're trying to, it's like, like an agent. Like they're just coming in, freely without no questions asked. No, I know none of that. They're just coming in and they messing up the flow. They messing up everything when it comes to it, the spiritual community. Because nine times out of thought, or I thought that the spiritual community is for helping people. I thought the spiritual community is to help you mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's all we're doing. We're like reminders. That's all we are, reminders of being your best self, your higher self. So when somebody comes on these platforms and they don't speak righteous and they don't speak with a genuine heart, that's a problem. I tell you, it's a problem because they're doing it so much. You got people on here that will talk about spirituality, but some of them, they'll scam their supporters. Like, why? Like, for money. Like, you see how that is? You can't let me give you an example, right? Let's say I make a video about eating healthy, right? Or semen retention or all this BS, right? If I get on the video and I tell you, hey bro, you gotta do this, you gotta do semen retention, you gotta meditate every day. But after I get off this camera, I go do something completely different. I go watch TV or play the game, but I'm telling you to get spiritually enlightened. How does that work? How does that add up? And that's what I mean. That's why I made this video, false prophets, because people is coming in the spiritual community and they're trying to flip it on you. They're trying to like flip it on you to confuse you or some way. And it's happening most of the time. Some of these people that get on these platforms are not righteous people. They don't have a righteous heart, you know? If I'm not, like, for instance, right, me for example, right? If I'm not telling you to get spiritually with yourself and help yourself, what's the point of me being on here? What's the point of me helping you then? I'm on here for no reason then. You feel me? I'm just on here just talking and rambling. Because if I tell you, right, if I tell you to meditate, right, if I tell you to do things, but after I get off this camera, I go through something completely different. What makes me? That makes me a more shadier. That makes me a more evil person. You see what I'm saying? That makes me a more demonic person. Because if I'm telling you to do all these spiritual things and I'm not doing it myself, that will make me more disrespectful person, more evil person. And that's what this spiritual community is coming out to be. It's like the industry. Everybody wants the top rank. Everybody wants the views. Everybody wants the money, the glory, you know? But why is that? Why do you think you have to put on an image so you can get more fame or get more higher ups? Why does that have to be this way? You know? Because for me, what I stand for on my platform, what I talk about helping yourself, bettering yourself, you know, trying to enlighten you better so you can be better. That's all, you know? So why can't other people do the same, you know? And you can tell, this is what I've noticed, right? When you see people on these YouTube platforms or whatever, you can tell who has a righteous heart and who don't. You can look, if your awareness is up and you can you can tell who's a good person, who's a bad person. If you have that type of like enlightenment or you have that type of awareness, you can tell by the video who's real and who's not, you know? But the sad thing about it is a lot of people can't see that. They can't see that the person that you're talking to or the person that you're watching on a video, don't matter if it's real life, don't matter if it's on a video, don't matter what it is. You can tell just by looking at that person, oh yeah, I gotta get away from him. You can tell, but some people can't do that. Some people would just listen. Some people would just let it slide. And that's an issue. That's an issue. And that's what's really happened in the spiritual community. People is infiltrating the spiritual community that has negative intent, that got demonic intentions, and they come in the spiritual community and they mess it all up. They mess it all up. And there's certain people like that right now in the spiritual community that get millions of views. They get millions of views. They get millions of views. Millions. They get views, like high views. But the people that actually want to really genuinely help you, we get like this amount of views, like real tiny views, like low. I'm talking about 20 people can watch. You get like 20 views, but the people that talk and they have all negative intent, they get 5K. They get like 6K views. Like, you see how that works? You could tell that something is wrong. You can tell that it's an issue. You can just tell. You can just tell it's an issue, you know? And you got to realize that a lot of these types of people, they're being shown to you. They're being shown to you. People with negative intent and they really don't have a righteous heart, they're being shown to you every day. Don't matter if it's on a screen or in real life. People like that are getting shown to you every day. Every day. You just can't see it. But they're showing themselves. They're telling you, hey, bro, I'm like this. You know, you just got to see it for yourself. You know? And we have to really, really understand if a person's not trying to help you, if the person's not telling you to go within yourself and help yourself and do your own work and do your own shadow work and do your own thing, what's the point of you watching them? What's the point of you engaging with them? What's the point of you being around them? What's the point? What's the point of even doing this? What's the point? What's the point of hours and hours of video watching somebody if they're not helping you? If they're not trying to help you within, if they're not trying to give you the motivation to help and inspire you and enlighten you, what's the point of watching somebody? What's the point of doing it? And then if they're not saying, hey, bro, go within yourself, help yourself, do what you got to do. If they're not doing that, what's the point of watching them? They're literally like a waste of time. They're just there just to be there. They just there. They're just there just to be there. They're useless. They're nothing. Like, non-existent. They're gone. They're just there. but it's so crazy to me because it's like the people that actually want to help you, we get shut out into the darkness or something happens to us. You ever notice that? You ever notice that people that actually have a real intention and righteous heart, and that's actually a pure soul, we get treated the most? We get treated with the worst disrespect, especially when it comes to this world, you know? And it's like, wow, we really, and has I, this is how I see it, right? If you're a righteous person and you really have a really genuine heart, a really kind soul, a pure heart person, especially on these platforms, what's gonna happen is, right? This is gonna happen, right? When a person attack you, they see your light. So your light, even this how I see it. When you get hate on a platform in real life, don't matter what it is, that means your light is shining brighter. You're getting to a higher level. That's all I see it as. That's all I see it as. Because it don't make no sense how people on these platforms, YouTube channels, are people that's on these platforms, they will literally, like, how can I say this? It's like they will literally side with somebody else that's teaching them things that, like, they're not, it's like I said, like a false prophet. They're teaching them things that's not really trying to help them. They're trying to help themselves. And you can see that with a lot of people, especially on these, especially in the spiritual community. You can tell who's right, you can tell who's real and who's not. And we have to really understand that. We really have to grasp that, you know? And it's really crazy to me because a lot of times that we because we are living in an age where we're living in an age right now, or the world that we're living in today, knowledge is everywhere. But it's hard because we don't know if the knowledge that we're getting is good or bad. That's what make it so confusing. That's what make it so that's what make it so crazy to me, you know? And people don't know which way. People are confused. And you can tell. You can tell people are confused because they don't know who to side with. They don't know if you're the bad side, he's the good side. You don't know what it is, right? But the people that spreading the knowledge and the info, they know they real intentions when they make these videos. Some people, when people make videos, they know what the outcome is. They know what their real genuine heart is. They know. But some people don't really have that. Some people don't really have a genuine heart when people make these videos. Some people got other motives, and people that watch the videos gotta understand that. You gotta understand that every person that talk about spirituality, that wear unks and crystals, they're not really for you. You have to realize that. You gotta realize a person that come on here burning the sage, doing all this, some of them are not really for you. It don't matter what they teaching. Some of them are not for you. Some of them are. Some people, they're not on the same. They have other motives. They're not on the same level. You know, their motives is something completely different. But the saddest thing about it is, you're watching people like that every day that have interior motives. They're really against you, but you won't know that because you're just watching them on a screen. You don't really you don't really see what's in here. You don't really see what's in here. You know what I'm saying? And that's really confusing. But if you think about it, though, the people that really have a genuine heart and that really think about this, the people that really have a genuine heart, they get the most backlash. They get some of their videos get taken down or striked every 5 minutes. You see? You see how that is? You see? They get strikes. They get taken down. People, all type of stuff. All things happen when it comes to these platforms, and you can tell. You can tell who's really genuinely have a righteous heart, And I tell people like this: in this world that we live in today, if you don't have a righteous heart and if you're not walking with a pure soul, you're not gonna make it in this world. You're not gonna make it in this world. It don't matter if you're a celebrity, influencer, YouTuber. Don't matter what it is. You're not gonna make it in this world. And you can see that with people. You can see it. You can tell. You can just tell. You know, if somebody on this platform is not helping you and giving you and trying to enlighten you and telling you to go within and telling you, hey, you got to do this for yourself, do this and do that. What's the point of watching them? They're a waste of time, literally. They're like they're just there, like they're non-existent, and we have to realize that when we watch when you watch these videos, you know, especially these spiritual videos, you know, because sometimes people can be on here talking about spirituality, all this stuff, and they on their mind, you can tell, okay, you be watching all this spirituality, you teaching us, you burning sage, you doing all this crystals and BS and all this stuff. Feel me? But at the end of the day, your mind can be on money. Your mind can be like, oh man, I'm just gonna follow the trend and I'm just gonna make money off of it. You see? But you won't think that. That's watching a video. You won't say, oh, he might be a, you know, who won't watch it, he might not be who he say he is. You see what I'm saying? And we have to realize that. We have to realize that don't matter if it's on a platform, it can be real life too. You know? We gotta realize that that person over there, we don't trust him. And we have to really we have to make a decision on that. You know? And it's so sad, bro. Because me, my first thought making a YouTube channel or, you know, being spiritual, as y'all say, you know, as doing all these things, my thought was, okay, I'm helping people, I'm changing people's perspectives, I'm caring for people, something I truly love to do. I love to help people. I love to enlighten you. You know, I love to do all these things. I like when you have, because this is me as a person. I like to talk. I like to have you have a different perspective on life. That's what I love to do. So I'm gonna keep doing it. That's why I make these videos. Just for you to think, to have a different perspective on life in general and things. That's all. That's all I'm doing on these videos. That's my real and truly intent. That's what I really, really want to do. You know? I want to help people. I want to give people a sense of enlightenment and try to give them a sense of awareness. That's all. And if a person's not, and like, this is crazy, yo, because it's like oh my God. And it's like, you're trying to literally, you're trying to literally, I don't understand people. I never understood people like that. People that you can say anything, but your actions are totally different. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that. I really don't. Like, and you could tell in this world, especially now, who has a righteous soul and who don't. And if whoever don't have a righteous soul, you might as well not even exist. You might as well just be out there. You might as well go ahead and go. Because that's the world we living in today. If your mindset is not with a pure heart and you don't have a righteous and actually a good soul, you're a waste. You're like garbage. You're like garbage. Like if you're not walking with a pure positive heart and a righteous soul, you're like nothing. And you're not trying to help, especially your own people, to say, hey bro, stop doing this. But I realize that you can't help everybody though. Whoever get the message, they get the message. You know what I'm saying? So when you see these things, you gotta take it as a grain of salt. Because this person gonna do their thing and this person gonna do their thing. You can't change people's perspective. You can't change everybody's perspective, but you can change a couple people's perspective. You can try to help them in some way. As long as that you did your part and did your role and tried to help you and get somewhere and try to enlighten people and try to go within themselves and teach them about different things, that's all that matters. That's all that matters, you know? And trying to benefit them and trying to give them, a good heart and try to give them a good, sense of awareness, try to help in some way. Don't matter what you're doing. As long as if you got a pure heart and you have a truly good soul and you're speaking upon these things, you're trying to help you, that's all that matters. Because this is what I realized, right? The people with good hearts and a good soul, we're gonna get the biggest gift ever, the biggest reward ever. That's what I noticed. Because you ever notice people? Because if you ever see a negative person, they get a lot of stuff really fast, right? But what they get, it never lasts long. But what people to get that actually have a righteous heart, we get something that lasts forever. You know, because when you have a genuine pure heart, you could a lot of things will come to you not very quickly, but it'll come slowly because the gift is so much bigger. You see what I'm saying? The positive energy is so much bigger. You know, the end result is so much bigger. You know, and you can see that a lot of people on these platforms they have some. It's like over here is negative and over there is positive and and it's like we fighting. It's like, oh, you're fake. You're not like it's like a battle. You see, it's like a battle. That's what it's like. It's like a battle. It's like positive and negative. But it's so crazy to me how you can come into a place, a community that was based off of information, knowledge, helping people, giving people a sense of awareness, but you can only see it as a negative intent. Because this is my perspective on the spiritual community was to help people, to give people new knowledge, to give people new perspective. But sometimes it might not be like that. Sometimes you might have people with different agendas. And some of the people that we watch, especially when it comes to spirituality, they not on the same frequency. They have, different they have, you know, a different agenda themselves. They'll do something completely different, and we have to, as the spiritual community, we got to see that. We can't just let anybody in. We can't just be like, oh, you're here, you know, you were unks and crystals. Okay, you're in the spiritual community. Yay. What is that? Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you just let anybody in that's accepted? Like, that's just here. Why? Like, why would you do that? Why would you just let anybody in? Like, what type of mindset is that? Because that's what it feels like we're doing. We're just letting anybody in that burn sage and unks. Are you serious? Like, what type of mindset is that? That's like if I let anybody. That's like if I throw a party, right? Let's say if I throw a party, right, and I just let anybody in the party. I let and the party is only for righteous people, and I just let a bunch of negative people come in. Oh, you do this? You murder? Oh, come in. Like what? And it feels like that's what we're doing. We're just letting body in the party. We're just letting body come through. We not checking on them. We not saying, "Oh, you are." We not doing none of that. We not doing background checks. We not doing nothing. We just let anybody come. You know, and the people that's coming, their hearts are not even righteous. They don't even have a really righteous heart. They'll just put on an image that look like they got a righteous heart, but really they don't. That's crazy, right? And it's like they put on a whole illusion, and somehow we believe in the illusion instead of really going deep and really figuring out, okay, you in here, right? You let's ask questions like what? Ask questions. Hey, what you do? What like it's common sense, you know? You literally like it's like for instance, let's say you meet a new friend, right? Would you just let any friend be in your friend group? Would you just let anybody just come through and try to get to know you, or you ask questions first? Would you just let our think about it like that? Think about it like that. If I have a big friend group, let's say I have 3 people, right? Say I have 3 people in my friend group, right? And let's say a fourth one come by, but we don't know him from a can of paint. Nobody knows him. He's just there, right? Of course, we're gonna ask questions, right? Think of why don't y'all do that in the spiritual community? Why do y'all just let everything roam? It's like spirits. You're just letting them roam anywhere, right? And most of them, and the people that you just let in here and let them just talk, most of them have negative intent. Most of them is not doing what they say they're doing, you know? And that's what people got to do. People got to realize that behind these screens, their attitude is completely different. And that's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me because, especially like it's so wild to me. It's wild. It's wild. You know. And I just want to speak upon this, man. And I'm out.